Yes, my model automatically avoids taxes and saved the company nearly $2 million in taxes. Isn't that an achievement? I couldn't help but burst into laughter, laughing until tears almost came out. What are you laughing at? Xu Qian was embarrassed and angry. I'm laughing at your fearless ignorance. I stopped smiling and stared at her with a sharp gaze. Those so-called tax avoidance models you learned abroad are considered tax evasion under the Golden Tax Phase 4 big data surveillance here. Xu Qian's face changed. You're lying. My algorithm is perfectly compliant. To cook the books for a loss? Didn't you forcibly depreciate that batch of old equipment scrapped 3 months ago? Didn't you move several entries of year-end prepayments off the books? Xu Qian took a step back, a flash of panic in her eyes, because I had guessed everything right. Yesterday, before the handover, I glanced at the draft report on her computer screen and saw the telltale signs. These operations are considered glaringly anomalous data under domestic tax law. The tax bureau system would have triggered a red alert the moment you submitted it yesterday. I turned to the boss. Boss, the bank accounts are frozen simply due to missing instructions. But if I'm not mistaken, the tax bureau's audit division will be arriving this afternoon. The boss's legs gave out, and he collapsed onto the sofa.
Old Lynn? Are you serious?
I've been in finance for 28 years. When have I ever joked about tax matters? As I spoke, the boss's phone rang. He answered with trembling hands, listened for a few seconds, and the phone slid to the floor. The tax bureau's audit team is at the office, demanding the legal representative return immediately to assist with the investigation. He mumbled to himself, looking like he'd aged 10 years in an instant. Xu Qian completely broke down. Her proud, overseas returnee halo and her so-called advanced model had become a lethal joke in the face of the country's strict laws.
Impossible! This is impossible! She crouched on the floor, head in his hands, his elaborate makeup ruined by tears, looking like a clown. Boss, the only way now, I walked up to the big boss and looked down at him, is for you to return to the company immediately and cooperate with the tax audit. As long as you proactively pay the back taxes, late fees, and penalties, you might avoid criminal charges. As for the bank, once the tax issue is settled, you can take the payment receipts to explain the situation, which will naturally... A glimmer of hope flashed in the boss's lifeless eyes.
Old Lynn, come back with me. You understand the company's accounts best.
Boss, I am just a former employee who was fired by public notice. I pointed to the documents on the table. When Director Xu publicly criticized me in the group chat yesterday, you were the one who liked his message, proving that you also endorsed his wolf warrior culture. The big boss's face turned bright red, too ashamed to speak. For 28 years, I held the line for you and blocked countless risks. Lynn, you looked down on me as a sunk cost and wanted to have a newcomer kick me out without even a word of notice. I looked at him, my tone calm but biting. So, clean up the mess you created yourselves. The big boss looked at me in despair. He knew my temper. Once I've said something, I mean it. He turned his head sharply and pointed fiercely at Xu, who was squatting on the floor. You useless, incompetent fool! You've ruined me! Xu screamed and slumped to the floor. Get out of here right now! I will have the legal department sue you for the company's losses and the tax penalties. You will lose everything to compensate me. After saying that, the big boss stumbled out of my door, rushing back to the company to face the storm he had brought upon himself. Only Xu was left in the living room. She scrambled up from the floor in a pathetic state. Nowhere to be seen was the high and mighty elite demeanor he had yesterday. She looked at me, his eyes filled with fear and resentment.
Lin Cho Yue, did you plan this from the very beginning? Did you watch me jump into the pit on purpose? I took a sip of tea.
Sue, I didn't plot against you. It was your own character and arrogance that plotted against you. You thought age meant uselessness. You thought following rules meant low efficiency. You thought holding power meant you could trample on others' dignity at will. I pointed to the door. I only did one thing. I pandered to your arrogance. Now take your arrogance and get out of my house. A week later, I celebrated my 65th birthday, which was also the day I officially retired. That morning, I intentionally wore a red outfit and made a trip to the Labor Arbitration Commission. The company's legal department was already waiting there. The big boss didn't show up. I heard that to cover the back taxes and the massive fine, he not only sold a house, but was also begging everyone he knew for loans. The legal team's attitude was extremely respectful.
Miss Lynn, this is the company's settlement agreement. $1.8 million in compensation, plus emotional damages for these past few days, totaling $2 million. The money has been transferred to your account. Please verify it.
I opened my phone. Looking at the string of numbers in my account, I nodded with satisfaction, signed the settlement, and walked out of the arbitration bureau. The sunlight was blindingly bright. I received a call from AJ. Thanks, Xiaoji. How are things over at the company? AJ let out a sigh on the other end of the phone. It's a disaster. After paying the fine, the company's cash flow broke. Half the staff was laid off, and Lily was fired too. As for that Shu, the deadbeat, the big boss sued her, demanding he cover the losses caused by her blunders. I heard she's been completely blacklisted in the industry. No company wants a CFO who's had major issues flagged by the tax bureau. I listened quietly, without a trace of resentment. Everyone must pay the price for their own actions. After hanging up, my husband messaged me.
Today is your retirement day. I've booked a table at a nearby restaurant. Come over soon to celebrate.
I replied with a smile, okay, and walked briskly toward the sun. I am no longer the old accountant who punched out on time every day, but a retiree with $2 million in her pocket, ready to enjoy life. In the morning, sunlight gently brushed my face through the curtains. I opened my eyes slowly, free from the irritation of being jolted awake by an alarm for the past 28 years. Replacing it was the crisp birdsong outside and the soft clinking of pots and pans as my husband worked in the kitchen. This tranquility was something I had once dreamed of. I stretched comfortably. At 55, having been through the baptism of workplace turmoil, I felt unprecedented ease and freedom. I no longer need to hold my thermos sitting punctually in front of a computer, facing mountains of accounts and complex interpersonal relationships. Now, my time belongs entirely to me. Every minute and second is mine to control. After waking up, I didn't rush into anything, but went to the balcony to carefully tend to my plants. Once just mere office decorations I barely had time for, I now have plenty of time to trim dead leaves, loosen soil, and fertilize. Watching them sprout new life in the sun, my heart softened. My husband walked over with hot soy milk and freshly steamed buns. We exchanged a smile. This plain, genuine happiness is something no past promotion or position could ever compare to. In the mornings, I usually go to the nearby park to walk, chat with familiar friends, or sit by the lake and read quietly. I discovered that I still have so many hobbies I had never realized before. From the water towns of the South to the vast deserts of the Northwest, every place is full of temptation. Just thinking about it is breathtaking. That $2 million in compensation lies quietly in our bank account, providing a solid foundation for my husband's and my retirement life. To me, this money is more than just wealth. It is the reward for my 28 years of hard work and the best proof of my adherence to principles and protection of my dignity. It completely freed me from my worries about the future, and I felt true financial independence. I no longer had to struggle just to make ends meet. I could finally live for myself. But I didn't use all the money for personal pleasure. After discussing it with my spouse, I made an important decision: to invest a portion of it into education in impoverished areas. This is not just a monetary donation, but a continuation of my life's wisdom and another way to fulfill my social responsibility. I know its importance well. It can change an individual's destiny and even the future of a family or a village. I didn't just wire the money to an account and call it a day. Instead, I personally invested my time and energy. Through reliable channels, I connected with a Hope primary school in a remote mountain area, carefully understanding their needs and communicating repeatedly with the principal and teachers. I clearly understood that what these children needed most was a fair opportunity to learn, elevating my life to another dimension. I am no longer just Lin Cho-hua, a retired finance manager, but Auntie Lin, who sows hope in those mountains. Occasionally, I recall that retirement ordeal. Shu Qian's arrogance, the boss's snobbery, Lily's submissiveness. The people and events that once made me feel angry and indignant now seem distant and blurry. I feel neither resentment nor triumph. I simply view that experience as a necessary graduation exam in life. I passed it, graduating with dignity and wisdom, and began a new chapter. I enjoy this hard-won peace and look forward to the future. I know that life's value is never defined by others, but created and realized by oneself. I am walking a path full of sunshine and hope, with every step steady and firm. On a sunny afternoon, my husband and I sat on a park bench. A gentle breeze brought the scent of flowers. Shu Chan's arrogance and the boss's short-sightedness led them to view me as a sunk cost, an old object to be discarded at will. But in the end, they paid a heavy price for their arrogance, while I found a new lease on life. I have redefined sunk cost. True sunk costs are not the aging employees, nor the seemingly outdated but effective regulations. They are those who are narrow-minded, unwilling to learn, disrespectful of experience, and lacking in reverence. They are the ones who focus only on superficial glitz while ignoring a solid foundation. They are the true burden on the company and society at large.